Action. This is my audience.
Really good question.
They're a group of very attractive people. Turn the light back on. Imagine yourself on a canvas mat, surrounded by a cage with an athlete in top physical condition with one intention, to hurt you. At this point, you have no other choice to fight, and oftentimes fighters find themselves thinking, why didn't I train harder? The heavy bag as well as the remnants of a speed bag behind me is my proof of my hard work that I put in every single day. How I can have no regrets because of the work I put in. As long as I work hard, I'll be able to bear the fair fruits of my labor. Choosing to be a fighter from a young age was probably the best decision I've made in my life because it impacted my life in several ways. Today I'll be sharing with you how being a fighter has taught me to be in the best possible physical shape, to have discipline, and to obtain humility. Being a fighter has made it necessary for me to be in the best possible shape through brutal training. Strength plays a major role in fighting because oftentimes it supplies the power you need to end a fight with one punch and helps in overwhelming your opponent in wrestling. Once the fight gets to the ground, which 95% of fights do, this is called grappling. Grappling requires a lot of cardio and a well-tuned heart to supply with the oxygen you need to overwhelm your opponent and obtain a dominant position the entire fight. Now, the third thing that comes from being in the best possible shape is conditioning. Conditioning comes from working out 5 to 6 times a week, 1 to 3 times a day. The next thing is discipline. Discipline is required in fighting because there are many things that require you to stick to it and stay through it. Such things are diet. You can't have any fatty foods. You can't have a lot of breads because this will make all that work you did go to nothing. Another thing is no excuses, no days off. Your opponent doesn't care if it's your birthday, he doesn't care if it's a holiday. The more days you take off, the less prepared you are, and the more likely your opponent's going to beat you down. Lastly is game plan. Every fighter creates a game plan for the individual opponent that they're going up against. A lot of guys, when they first start to get beat, they start to get hit, they want to abandon that game plan because they don't think it's working. But they have to think about it. They have to stay disciplined. They have to know that no matter what, they have to stick with it because you developed the plan for a reason. It was specifically made for this fighter, and through time, beatings, eventually the fighter will tire out, and that's when you will gain your advantage. The most admirable attribute of all fighters is humility. Humility is hard to attain because many fighters lack it because of how hard they work. They think they're the only ones training hard, and this causes them to underestimate their opponents. Oftentimes, when they underestimate their opponents, they're going through the ring nonchalantly. They're talking trash, such as Michael Bisping and Chael Sonnen, who become the antagonists of the UFC, and eventually acquire a beatdown that is remembered for the history of MMA. Today, I informed you of how being a fighter has taught me to work hard, to be in great shape, have discipline, and be humble. Fighting has given me the confidence I need to accomplish anything in life, whether it be from schoolwork and public speaking or my fights in the ring. As a fighter, I tie my gloves on every day, shake hands with my friend, sparring partner, or opponent, and wait for the bell to ring in confidence, not anxiety. Because once it does, I know only one of us will come out of the ring victorious, and more than likely will be the one who put in the most work.